lives in Brooklyn, New York, with her husband. I always feel like I'm introducing a game show when I do these things. And rolling for a new Prius. She lives in Brooklyn, New York, with her husband, 2 sons, 2 dogs, Bear and Bo. Is that right? Bear and Bo? And I don't know how old this bio is. They're still around.
They're still around, yeah.
Doing well,
they're
thriving.
Still there. They're thriving,
awesome.
Yeah.
And Wonder, which is a debut novel,
Yes.
has been on the New York Times bestseller list since 2012. Has sold over 5 million copies. Is that number? Should we double it at this point?
Triple?
The book's message, I mean, we've all seen it. We just saw that video, has inspired the Choose Kind movement all over the world, and I'm very excited to talk to you today. And here, next to RJ, we have the amazing Neal Shusterman, author. I've known Neal a while now, and I still had to go to Wikipedia to try and count up the number of books he's written, and I didn't even get it. It's more books than I can count. I actually failed to count. How many books have you written? We were talking about this last night.
37.
37 books. Middle grade, young adult, a picture book. Did you write a picture book? Am I remembering? One picture book.
I bought the only copy.
And won the National Book Award for his amazing, powerful novel, Challenger Deep. Author of the Unwind series, the New York Times best-selling Scythe series, and your latest, your brand new book, written with your son Jared, Dry, which is a harrowing, terrifying, apocalyptic tale that I have not finished it. I have about 30 pages left in, so no spoilers. But it is haunting, and I can't wait to chat with you both about these books. We're gonna have some time for questions at the end, so I'm gonna ask you both some questions, get you guys talking, and then in the audience, I know you probably all have questions burning in your brains to ask these two geniuses, so we will do some of those. And I'm inspired by that video we just watched, so I want to ask you both. We're going to start with something really kind. What's the kindest thing someone has said to you about your books?
Wow. For me, I mean, it's sort of, it's I guess the fact that it's inspired them to be kind, that they've read Wonder, and especially with the little kids, you know, you get a 10-year-old telling you that reading your book has inspired them to want to be kinder, and you're thinking, how much kinder can you be? You're 10 years old, you know. That kind of thing is what I hear a lot, and it's really one of the most wonderful things to be able to hear.
There are moments when people will come up to me. There's one in particular. I was at a signing, and a girl had this very clearly dog-eared copy of Challenger Deep, and she came up and she couldn't, you know, hold back her emotion. She was crying. She said, "This book saved my life." She said that she had been suicidal, and she just read this book and realized that there were people out there who understood, who had been through this, and she wasn't alone.
Can you tell them a little for those who don't know what
Challenger Deep is about schizophrenia. It was inspired by my eldest son Brendan's experiences with schizophrenia when he was a teenager. He was diagnosed at 15, and this story was sort of my way and our way of sort of working through it after he started to get better. After the book was published, the outpouring of support for it was incredible, just more than any other book, that one has just gotten that response of people just, you know, wanting to come around the table and hug me and say the book changed their life. And Brendan was there for some of that. I mean, he's seen how it's affected people, because there were times that we've been on tour and speaking about it together, and it's really been a healing experience for him. By the way, he's doing great now. He's living in Thailand and teaching English, and he's 29, and he is a success story. You know, there's so many times with mental illness you hear negative stories. He has really managed to live a full life and deal with it.
It's great.
I guess Melanie as well. Your books are very different from each other, but you both write just a little. I read Wonder. I was like, Unwind would make a great read-alike for this. For those of you who haven't read Unwind, it's a deep, dark dystopia. But you both write fully realized human characters in these very tough situations. And I find both your books, all of your books really, extremely hopeful. I wonder if you could talk about how you build hope and joy into these very hard stories for and about young people. How do you go about doing that?
I think that hope is the most important part of the story, especially if you're going dark with the story. If it's really mining, powerful emotions. If you tell a story of futility, that doesn't bring anything to the world. You need to tell a story of hope. Dry is a story about what happens when the world, or at least Southern California, runs out of water, and during the 5 days when there is no water, and there's a lot of bad stuff going on. But you're following these 4 teenagers who are trying to survive and mining the depths of their own, of themselves, and empowering themselves to survive this. So it's really, without giving you a spoiler for the past 30 pages, it's a story of hope, of figuring out how to deal with difficult situations and rise above them.
Yeah, I tend to be a very optimistic person. I really do believe in the beauty and the nobility of people. And I want to write something that I like to read. I'm not a doom and gloom kind of person. I like to read about, whether I'm reading history books or whether I like to read about when people find that thing inside of themselves and rise to the occasion. They surprise themselves sometimes. They don't know that they have all this nobility inside of them until they're tested in a moment. And I think a lot of great writing happens when we pit characters in ordinary circumstances suddenly confronted with extraordinary things happening to them, and how they deal with that, that test of their character is really what I think is the most interesting aspect of reading literature of any kind. So that's what I want to write about.
Have your characters ever surprised you?
My characters surprise me all the time. Like on the panel I was just on, we were talking about how sometimes when you're writing, the characters end up, and you guys would know this, like that you reach that point where the characters are so fully realized that you're just kind of typing to keep up to what they're doing, and you're almost reporting things that are happening because they've kind of taken over. So I've definitely had that.
Is there something, an example, like is there a time when Augie or somebody in Wonder
specifically,
totally
there was a moment in Wonder where it's on the camping trip, and the Augie and Jack have been just bullied by those mean older kids. And they're kind of rescued by Amos, Henry, and Miles, and so all 5 boys are kind of running through the woods, and it's nighttime, and they finally, they get away, and Jack turns to Amos and Henry and Miles, and he's like, "Yo, dudes, thanks," and he does that, the high five thing, and Augie turns to them, and he knows that he should thank them too, but he also doesn't know if they're gonna high five him back, because these are the boys that have not touched him for the entire year. But he goes ahead and he does that. He sort of puts himself out there, and he's like, yeah, thanks guys, and he raises his hand in the air. And I remember writing that, and I would write in the middle of the night because that was my schedule, not knowing whether they were going to reciprocate and high five him back. And when they did, I was so happy. It was I didn't know which way it would go. I was crying. I was like, yay!
It's funny, that scene is what actually gives me another connection with Dry. I mean, in such a different book, but in Dry, your characters, in a very sort of what is almost a normal circumstance early in the book, are suddenly confronted with very sudden, scary violence and have to rise to themselves.
And the characters do take over. They really lead you along the way. It's kind of like when you start, you're sort of putting words into their mouths in the first draft, but then, usually for me, it's usually around page 50, where the characters will really start to take over, and you don't know where they're going to take the story. And you had a plan, you had an idea of where it was going, but then the characters take it in a different direction. You have to sort of throw away your outline and just go with the characters. Because if you follow your outline, if the characters aren't buying into it, then you're just manipulating your characters and it doesn't feel authentic anymore.
Right.
But if you let the characters lead the story, it always takes you to better places than you thought you were going.
Team 1, we're gonna have Sarah Ferrisman and Melissa Albert and Natasha Nagin come up. Let's have you guys have a round of applause and enjoy it.
There's so many people. Thank you. Hi. so I'm going to take off my glasses so I can't see your faces. So if you want to fall asleep or you don't like what I'm saying, I can't tell. It's great. So we're going to play Mad Libs.
Okay. What is that?
It's a game.
You're British.
Oh,
sorry,
really?
I'm English. I don't know.
She's British. Let's help out. Mad Libs. It's a game in English. And I'm funny, go buy my books. So what we do, thank you. You're so talented, good job.
I told them to take it out there because they didn't have a pen.
You guys are doing amazing. I'm so proud.
We're gonna get through this together. It's gonna be great. So, you're both talented and amazing. Thanks for being here. So I'm going to give you a prompt, and then you pick a noun, or an adverb.
I'm really bad with parts of speech,
That's
so
okay.
we need a refresher.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, we should be up front. Let's not shirk away from our responsibility. And then when you give me the parts of speech, I fill them in, and then I read aloud what we've come up with together.
Okay, let's
Okay.
figure it out. I feel like you and I talking about fart jokes on Twitter really prepped us for Mad Libs.
I wanted to say thank you for the fart joke compliment, because that's all I've ever wanted. It's a compliment for fart jokes. Because women can write fart jokes. All right, so I'm going to give you a part of speech, and then one of you can decide the first one that comes to mind, and then I'll write it in. And then we'll read it aloud. It's going to be great.
Okay.
A noun, please.
Fart.
Another noun, please. Box. Box. I like the way you say that. It's a box? B-O-X? Is that box? Okay, just making sure. She has a very nice accent. Very gay. Okay.
That's the end. That's the end.
So, all right. If you could pick a verb, please.
That's the action one, right?
A verb, just,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, rasp.
Rasp. I don't want him to get a big head, but I thought that story was pretty good. A verb ending in ing.
Strumming.
Oh. Strumming my pain with the thing. One time. Hi, Danielle. How are you? Just never had an audience this big. Algonquin readers, you can look it up. Okay, past tense verb, please.
Strumming? No, we already did that. Oh, that's the action one. Oh my god. I was a copy editor for years.
Happened in the past.
Oh, jumped.
Jump.
Yeah.
That works, right?
Yes.
Okay. Repeat the first noun, so I guess that means
Bird.
bird again. No, bird.
It was fart. Yeah, put it That's okay though.
Was it fart in the beginning?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that changes everything.
You thought I said bird? Oh no.
It's gonna be so much better. An adjective, please. Silky.
Can you tell what books I write? Say silky in my Chicago accent. Does that work the same?
That also works. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Past tense verb, please. Is she gonna answer again? Is that... We're never gonna get through this. evidence. Licked. What did you expect?
She is turning so red.
I'm so lonely. Okay. One last one. A present tense verb, please.
Okay, let's work on this together. Present tense verb. Oh, it's all me. Oh, peachy. It's the action one.
Something that you do.
Okay, something that you do.
My brain is just smut now, so I
I'm
can't
sorry.
contribute. I'm sorry.
Pump? No. Yes.
That's two.
Sit.
Sit? Okay. So we've just filled in a Mad Lib excerpt from Harry Potter.
I didn't want to do this.
And if Harry, as Hagrid. If Harry was like this, I would have read the whole thing. I stopped at 4, because I was like, I need a girlfriend. And then if I read them, then I'd have one, all of them, but I don't. All right, so let's read it. Ready? You ready? Okay. Do you want to read it, or? Yeah. Yeah, you should read it.
In my British accent. Harry. So that's my Hagrid accent. Harry, you're a fart. There was silence inside the box. Only the rasp and the strumming wind could be heard.
Yeah, good.
I'm a what? Jumped Harry. A fart, of course, said Hagrid, sitting back down on the sofa, which groaned and sank even lower, and a thumping, silkier, I'd say. Once you've been licked a bit. With a mom and a dad like yours, what else would you be? And I reckon it's about time you sit your letter.
Our next event begs the question, what happens when you toss a bunch of authors up on stage and test their YA trivia?
Ooh, okay. And it's not just any authors. We picked the 2 grand divas of the YA stage.
Literally the most egotistical authors we could find.
Team 1, led by Miss Aviard herself. With Morgan Matson and Siobhan Vivian. So yeah, Victoria's going to be in the chair. And Morgan, you and Siobhan are going to be right over here. And then we're going to have Team 2. We're going to have Renee Arié. Where's Captain Renee? Pitting Renee and Victoria head-to-head is going to be something to see. And then Cami Garcia and David Arnold. Okay, so each team is going to get 5 minutes, exactly 5 minutes on the clock. And you guys are going to stand up here. You're going to see the clues appear on the stage, on the screen. And you're going to be able to ask questions, trying to guess each character, right?
Okay.
And you can only answer yes or no.
Do we give her clues though too?
You have to
Oh,
shout.
Ellie's gonna correct me if I'm wrong. Ellie, scream.
Just yes or no answered questions.
Okay. You're only allowed to ask yes or no answer questions. They are only allowed to answer yes or no.
Oh.
And you guys don't have to take turns. You can work as a team.
Okay.
And you guys can work as a team. You don't have to take turns.
Can they motion?
Can you motion?
Can they motion things?
to me.
How is that helpful? It's a yes or no game.
Well, it's emotions.
Yes or no question,
And they're all
yes or no.
characters.
They're all characters.
Right.
And you have 5 minutes to get as many as you can.
Okay.
Got it? And we'll do one team at a time.
Can we pass if it's?
You can pass.
Okay.
So
You
all
can
we can say is yes or no.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to take yes and I'll take no?
Okay, cool.
Do that.
And Ellie, we're starting with Victoria. Okay, we're starting with Victoria, and all right, you tell us when we're going. Oh wow.
Stressful.
Is it a girl?
Yes.
Yes.
Is she a teenager?
Yes.
Yes.
Is she have magical powers?
Yes.
Does she attend a school?
Yes.
Is it Hermione?
Yes.
Okay. Next one. Is it a girl?
No.
No.
Okay. Is it a boy?
Yes.
Okay. Is he magical?
No.
Does he attend a school?
Yes.
Is he a contemporary?
Yes.
Is he in a love story?
Yes.
Is he in a movie?
Yes.
Is he Simon?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Is it a girl?
Yes.
Is she magical?
Yes.
Is she in a school?
Kind of not. I don't think.
And so, do her magical powers? Is she like have superpowers, or is it magic? I'm sorry, that's
That's
not
really complicated.
It's superpowers.
I don't think.
Is she in a contemporary world?
Sort
Yes.
of.
But with
Sort of.
Is she in a city that exists today?
Yes.
Yes.
Is she in New York?
Yes.
Yes.
Does she have red hair?
Yes.
Is it is it Clary?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, good one.
Yeah,
Go.
we're ready.
Okay, is it a girl?
No.
Well, okay, is it a boy?
Yes.
Is he magical?
No.
Is he in a contemporary?
No.
Is he in a historical?
No.
No.
Is he in a fantasy?
No.
Is he in a sci-fi?
No.
Is he in a movie?
Yes.
Has the movie come out recently?
No.
Is he the giver?
It came out fairly recently, not like
Fairly recently.
It's not old.
No, it's not old.
Yes, no.
Sorry.
Next, are we doing next?
No, we can
All right.
Okay. So it's a boy. He's in a somewhat. He's in a movie. Is he sorted into different things?
Oops.
Is he? This is stressful.
Okay. You got. I don't know what happened to the clock.
We have two more minutes.
2 more minutes. Oh, okay.
Okay. You got this.
Okay. So he's in a sci-fi-ish movie that has come out recently.
Yes. Don't listen to that. Focus here.
I feel misled.
Focus here.
Can I phone the audience? I'm gonna pass.
Okay, we can go back to that.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to the next one.
Is it a girl?
No.
Is it a boy?
Yes.
Is he magical? Yes. Okay. Is he in a fantasy world? Is he a teenager?
Guys, we're contemporary.
Is he a teenager? No.
Is he what?
Is teenager? Is he immortal? Or is he old? Yes, he's old. Is he a romantic lead? Does he have wings? Is it Rhysand? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Magical?
No.
Fantasy?
No.
No.
Does she have a movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Romantic lead?
Yes.
Is she in high school?
Yes.
Is she have superpowers?
No.
No.
All right. Not bad. Well, that was pretty impressive. How many did they get? Ellie, what did they get? 3. 4. Nice work, again. All right, you guys can stay seated, and we'll watch. All right, Renee. Team Renee.
I feel stressed just listening. Like I can feel like a palpable stress going over here. No, it's fine. It's fine. We got this. Totally.
3, 2, 1.
Is it a girl?
No.
Is it a boy?
Yes.
Magical?
Yes.
Contemporary?
No.
Is it Harry Potter?
So it doesn't mean like it's a contemporary
Is
book.
it Harry Potter?
No.
No.
Is it a movie? Is it a movie? Is it a, wait a minute. He is in a movie, okay. Is it a recent movie?
For us it is.
Is he the romantic lead in the recent movie?
No.
Is he young?
Yes.
He is young. Is it a giver?
How would you find young?
Oh my god, okay, pass. Is it a girl?
Yes.
Is it fantasy?
Yes.
Is she the romantic lead?
Yes.
Is the author of that book sitting on the stage here?
No.
Okay. Is it a movie?
Yes.
This is like impossible. you don't know who this is, do you?
I mean, I know who it is.
I'm like, you just keep looking up at the screen. Is it a recent movie?
Yes.
I'm getting so many good ones.
In the last 5 years, is that recent? No. Okay, no.
Is it Tris?
No.
Is it set in a contemporary world?
Yes.
Is it Hermione Granger?
No.
Is it Clary Gray?
No.
Is it a vampire? Is her name Bella?
Yes.
Yes, 1 point. All right, is it a boy or girl? Oh, wait, is it a boy?
No.
Girl. Is it a girl?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it historical?
No.
Fantasy?
No.
Contemporary?
Yes.
Is she magical?
No.
No.
Is it a movie?
Yes.
Is it Tris?
No.
No.
I'm gonna keep guessing. Is it Laura Jean?
No.
No.
It is a movie?
Yes.
Recent movie?
Yes.
Is it Katniss?
No.
I'm just throwing out names now, man.
This is the best game ever.
I'm not good at this. You know what? I'm gonna claim ESL all day long. I'm just gonna claim ESL. Is it a movie that made us cry?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Is it Hazel?
No.
No.
You got this one.
He is cheating. He's totally cheating. Is it a book by Angie Thomas?
Yes.
Her name's Star.
Yes.
Oh, Brendan. All right. What in the world? Is this a girl?
No.
Boy.
Yes.
Is it fantasy?
Yes.
Is it recent?
Who knows what they think?
Is it a movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Harry Potter?
No.
God. I'm gonna lose. It's okay, all right? It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. We'll discuss this later.
We knew this would happen. This is why we paired them against each other.
I'm gonna remember that you did this to me, someone. Forever. I'm gonna remember that you did this to me. Remember.
Veronica, do you have any clues?
What's going on next? There, pass.
No, keep going, you're close.
Huh?
Keep going.
Oh my God, seriously? That's how you're cheating? It's Divergent, it's 4.
Let's see if you can get one more to tie them in a fair fight.
What? No. Is it a girl?
Yes.
Oh, wait,
Oh
sorry.
my God! I can't.
My bad, sorry.
I'm literally hearing yeses and nos. I'm like, this is
Give it
impossible.
up for our two divas, Renee and Melanie, Siobhan, Morgan, Cammie, David.
Great job, everybody but Cammie and David. Great job, everybody. Cammie and David.
Oh my God. All right, let's also give a hand to Ellie for the best game ever.
Pretty sure Renee won. Pretty sure. I mean, we haven't tabulated the results, but it feels like a Renee win to me.
What's your Hogwarts house?
It's Ravenclaw.
No, you're a liar.
No, actually, I took the Pottermore quiz, and I was like, oh, what am I in? Because I'm clearly a Gryffindor. So I took their little quiz, and it told me I was a Ravenclaw. So I did what every normal person does. I put a new email address in, started a new account, took the quiz again, taking more care with my answer to be a Gryffindor, and I ended up a Ravenclaw again. I guess I like owls in the moon. I don't know, so whatever. Ravenclaw.
I never took the quiz because I know the answer.
Slytherin.
Obviously.
Hold on. Don't cheer for that. They locked them in the basement because they were actually everyone. This Slytherin fetishing is bad. They locked them in the basement because they were terrible people. They were going to betray everybody. They were all bad.
If I were to write Harry Potter from the Slytherin perspective, which is basically what I did.
And for the last activity of the night, we have a hilarious yet daunting challenge for our authors. No preparation was made. Nope. Nada. Totally none. There was as little preparation for this event as there are tears to be shed reading a John Green novel. You got me? Good. And so, for our grand finale,
Book cover recreation challenge!
Disaster potential on this one.
Huge, epic. We've got 6 teams assigned covers of some popular middle grade and young adult novels. And they are going to come on stage and in a fashion spectacular, recreate them as best they can.
Now this is going to be a timed event. We haven't really told them, but they're going to have 30 seconds to recreate their cover. Ish.
If it all goes bad, we'll blame Ellie.
Yeah, exactly. Decline of the American educational institutions.
All right, team 1. We're going to give them a chance. So we have team 1 standing by. Team 1 standing by. All right, I'm going to read the names of team 1 and then they're going to come out. This is Danielle Page's team, and she's going to be with Stephanie Garber, Ramon Torres, who you saw in the dance earlier, and Spencer Hyde doing Morgan Matson's Save the Date. All right, Team Danielle, we are ready for you. Let's do it. Uh-oh. Okay, but the bride's always late anyway, so this is how they expect.
They're hanging out in the green room.
Okay, here they come. Here comes the bride.
Here we go. Group 1.
Here we go.
To the stage. Yeah, oh yeah, we're ready. Okay. Nice guy, Mike. Bye.
I give it a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Danielle Page, Stephanie Garber, Ramon Torres, and Spencer Hyde.
Well done. Well done. All right, team 2.
Team 2, we have got, what do we got, Ellie? The Bells. Team Captain Nick Stone, Adib Khorram, Sarah Ennie, and Danielle Clayton doing the Bells. The countdown begins to get them to the stage and recreate the cover of the Bells. All right, in front of the blue line, in front of the blue line.
Ready?
We are ready.
We're ready.
Oh my God. All right, cheer them on, guys. They're gonna need it. 30 seconds to recreate the cover of the Bells.
This is an
A
expert.
boy into a ball gown.
This is working really well.
Get your cameras ready. You're gonna want a picture of this.
I feel like we're all feeling emotions right now. Different emotions. Some of them aren't good emotions. Look at this. All right, are we ready? Are we almost ready here? Oh, my feel it.
Reveal. Thank you, Team Nick Stone, Donna Clayton, Eddie Cornell, and Sarah Emmy.
I saw them getting ready for this, and I cannot believe that worked. Well done. That was unlikely. Okay.
Ellie, what do we have for Team 3, Captain Amina May Safi? The List by Siobhan Vivian, Tiffany Jackson, Jacqueline West, and Jen Cervantes. Team 3, we are ready for you. They're having she said we're having a moment or we're having an emergency, which are two very different things.
So, hey guys, guess what? I invented a new word. Plagiarism.
Hi, we're ready. Here we go, Team 3.
There was so much wardrobe malfunction going on in the back.
How can one team have so many issues? It just does not
Are
feel
we ready,
like...
or should we skip ahead to Team 4?
Okay, can we skip ahead to Team 4?
But we're almost there. We're being told.
Okay.
Hey guys, so yesterday I saw a guy spill all his
Oh,
wine.
Team 3. Here we go. It's okay. It's okay.
That was a little Danielle Clayton sabotage. I don't know if you know that. That thing was fine before she touched it. It was fine.
Oh yeah, we got it. We got it. Team 3, the List. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Oh god.
Things just got real in the cover recreation challenge.
Team 4, Destiny. Okay, Brendan, you better go in there before I start. Destiny Soria, Courtney Summers, Lamar Giles, and Ali Kandi. No pressure on this one. Here we go.
Come on out. Oh no.
Oh my god. Oh.
They're drowning. You know that, right?
Brendan Wright. Is it Brendan Wright's approved?
We'll talk about that after it's come on the show. Yes, because we know how much you love audience participation.
Everybody,
come and participate.
You want your cameras for this one?
All right, pick one. Pick a superhero here, and you're gonna nail it. Like I need you to be the hero.
Everybody get in position.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So it is now Sunday, November 11th, and Yallfest is over. But last night after the SmackDown, we went and got some dinner, and I wanted some dessert, and the place we were eating at didn't have dessert. And they suggested this other place that was a very long walk away. Didn't realize it was quite so long, but we walk over there, and along the way, apparently Charleston's really bad about having sidewalks that are uneven. And I was walking along, and next thing you know, my foot hit a sidewalk that was raised really high up, and I went tumbling and busted up my knee. That was not fun. Still went to the restaurant and got dessert, and then hobbled back to the hotel. But all in all, it was an amazing time. I got so many freaking books at this book festival. It was just, oh, so awesome. But I will do a haul video of all of the books that I got in another video. And well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!